everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm chatting 3-month update for baby Aria. I'm going to chat about how she's sleeping, how our routines sort of work, and how I fit time for myself in as well, and also just how I'm doing now that I'm 3 months postpartum, and also a little bit how Dan and I still stay connected as a couple. So the first thing I want to chat about is sleep. So when Aria was first born, we were very strict. We put her straight into her own room, into her own bed. That's just how we decided we wanted to do things, and it worked perfectly. She's always slept in her own bed. She was put into a routine from the get-go. She got fed every 3 hours, and at night she woke herself up every 3 hours to be fed. Once she hit sort of 8 to 10 weeks, we did a bit of research and we found out that she can actually go for an 8-hour stretch thereabouts during the night and without being fed. So we decided that we were going to start sleep training. Now, I'm not going to go too much in depth because it could be quite a long video. So if you want a longer and a more in-depth sleep training video, please either thumbs up this video or comment down below and I will definitely do one. What I will do is link a video down below that really helped me as well. But we sort of gently sleep trained her. So at night when I put her down at 7, if she woke up before 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, we would let her cry it out. We would let her cry it out for 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, if she was still crying, we would go in, put the dummy back in, and sort of like just put our hand on her, not pat her or pick her up, just put our hand on top of her back, and she would sort of almost cry, and then go back to sleep. But generally, she fell asleep and put herself back to sleep after about 7 or 8 minutes. And that's what it's all about. You need to teach them how to put themselves to sleep. She was sleep trained within, I say, 3 days. And since then, she has been sleeping all the way to 3:30, 4 o'clock every morning, which is amazing. It's great for her. She's getting lots of sleep. And it's great for me and Dan as well because we get a decent stretch of sleep in every night. What was very important that we found that helped the sleep training along was that she had quite a strict daytime routine as well. We'd always had a very strict nighttime routine, but we didn't really have a very strict daytime routine, and that's what helped us. I figured out a way for Aria to still get everything she needs from me, and for me to still have some time for myself, which is very important. So every single morning I wake up at 7 o'clock. Monday through to Sunday, she wakes up at 7, and she actually knows now. She wakes up at 7 o'clock, and she generally plays in her cot for a little while until I drag myself out of bed. But then I say good morning, and I say hi, and I open up the curtains, which is very important. She needs to differentiate between daytime and nighttime, and we did that from the moment she was home. Pick her up, and I feed her, and then I change her, which is also very important to me. She needs to know that, okay, it's morning time, it's light, I get fed and I get changed into like my daytime clothes. So I feed her, and then she's generally awake for an hour to an hour and a half before she needs to go down for her next nap. In that hour and a half, I tend to just I play with her a little bit, and then I put her in her play mat. I'll put her on her tummy for a little while, and if she starts niggling a little bit, I'll put her on her back so she can play with the toys. But while she's in her play mat, because she's not rolling over yet, she's not sitting, she's not running and walking, I get up and I go make myself some coffee, and I sit in the lounge and with her in her play mat, and I'll drink my coffee and I'll do my emails. And she's still there, and she'll still talk, and she'll still gurgle and giggle at me, and I'll chat to her and we'll play a little bit. And after an hour and a half, I can see she starts getting tired. She sort of gets little red eyebrows, and she starts getting a little bit niggly. So I put it back down on her cot. She sleeps in her cot. I give her her dummy, and I put her in her cot, cover her up, and I say good night and I love you, and I walk out the room, and generally she falls asleep within a minute. Sometimes she niggles a little bit. I go in, I put the dummy back in, put my hand on her, she falls asleep. 40 seconds, she's down. And then she'll sleep for a good 2.5 hours. Now, I've stopped feeding her every 3 hours. I feed her every 4 hours. When Aria sleeps, it's my time, and sometimes it's the best part of my day when Aria sleeps. This is when I will either, like in the morning, I tend to do my household chores. So I'll put a load of washing in, I'll hang the washing up, I'll unload the dishwasher, I'll make myself some breakfast, which is really important. And I'll tidy the kitchen quickly and make the bed and get changed. And that takes like my 2 hours. And if she's still sleeping, then I'll have another cup of coffee because I gotta have my coffee. And then she'll wake up again. And then it's the same thing. Play with her a little bit, I obviously feed her. And then she'll go down for a nap again. And when she goes down for a nap again, which is around about lunchtime. I'll make myself my lunch and I'll sit on the couch and I'll read my magazine or I'll watch some TV or just sort of do something that I really enjoy. That lunchtime sleep for Aria is when I do my things, which is really, really important because even though I'm Aria's mom, I still am my own person and I need to do things that I enjoy. She'll wake up again after 2 hours or so and I'll play with her, and sort of Dan comes home sort of halfway between that and then he's home, he'll play with her, and she'll go down for another nap. When she wakes up from that nap, about an hour or so later, we start getting ready for her bath. We bath Aria at 6:30 every night. Dan baths her. He baths her, he reads her a story, he obviously changes her, and then I feed her, and we put her down by 7 o'clock every night. And she falls asleep, and she sleeps straight through to 3:30, which is beautiful. She wakes up, I give her a quick feed, she sleeps again till 7, and then the whole day starts again. So when I was pregnant, I was really worried that I wouldn't have any time for myself, and I know it is easier now because Aria is still little and she isn't running and walking and that sort of jazz. But I make a point of when Aria is sleeping, in the morning I do all the household stuff, respond to emails, all those sort of things. The lunchtime nap, I do my thing. I eat my lunch and I read my magazines and I, watch YouTube videos, whatever I feel like doing on that specific day. And then the sort of late afternoon nap, I sort of do whatever else is left over. So if it's editing or if it's responding to other emails or if it's actually just sitting and doing nothing, I do that. And then the sort of the evening sleep is when Dan and I sort of catch up, we chat, we watch TV together and all those good things. Or I start making supper as well. I start making supper while Dan's bathing her and he sort of finishes supper off. So it wasn't a shock to me, but what was quite a big change was how Dan and my relationship changed, because you obviously don't have as much time for each other anymore. It's taken up by this little pound of flesh. So 2 things that we have done that have really helped us stay connected as a couple. The first thing is that we eat dinner together every single night at the table. We don't watch in front of the TV, which we used to do. We sit at the table, TVs are off, and we sit and eat our dinner together. And that forces us to chat, even if we chat about Aria, even if we chat about work, we're sitting with no distractions, our cell phones are somewhere else, and we talk to each other. And the second thing that we do is we go for date night once a month, without fail, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it works perfectly for us. If you can go out more, that's great. But for us, we go out minimum once a month with our Aria. We get a babysitter in, either my sister or her godparents or whatever the case is, and we go out for dinner, just the 2 of us. And again, even if we just speak about Aria the whole night, we're out by ourselves, which is so important for us to stay connected. Generally, we're so eager to get back to Aria because we miss her. That date night doesn't last very long. It's like 2 hours and we're home. But it's just important that we go out together. For me, obviously, in the beginning, I spoke about how I was quite emotional and I was battling to connect to Aria in the beginning. I had to say from 6 weeks, it just hit me like a flippin' lightning bolt, and I am crazy in love with my child. Like, I cannot imagine my life without her. As hard as it is, and as difficult as it is, as time-consuming as it is, and it's the most selfless love you'll ever give, I cannot imagine my life without her. So it does get better. If you're battling to connect with your baby, it does get better. Just press on, and if you feel like it isn't getting better, you just ask for help. There's no shame in it. I obviously had to go back to my gynae for my 6 weeks checkup, and that's when you discuss contraception. So I chose to go back on the pill. I was on Yasmin before we started trying to fall pregnant. Because I'm breastfeeding, I can't go back onto Yasmin. It'll dry up my milk. So I've had to go onto the mini pill, Microville. Now, I've never had an issue with the pill. I've never put on weight from it or had crazy mood swings or anything like that. But I have noticed with Microville, I am slightly more emotional. And I don't know if it's the pill or if it's just motherhood has made me a bit soft. But it's not terrible, and it's not bad enough that I want to go off the pill. I think I also just need to learn to handle those emotions now because I didn't have them previously. Back to Aria. In terms of milestones, she's doing brilliantly. I'm really lucky that my sister is an occupational therapist, so she helps me a lot in terms of little exercises we can do with Aria. If you want to see a YouTube video of age-appropriate developmental sort of exercises you can do with your baby, let me know in the comments, send me an email, thumbs up this video, any which way, just let me know and I'll be happy to do something. So she is doing really well. She grabs all her toys on her mobile. She puts everything in her mouth at the moment, which is a big milestone. She is babbling and cooing and screeching and screaming and trying to talk, which obviously she can't do, but like lots of little gobbledygook. She is really good at her tummy time. She can lift herself up properly like this. She stays on her stomach for quite a while, which is great. So she's just doing really, really well. She's putting on weight beautifully. She is still exclusively breastfed, which I'm really proud of because it's hard work. Yeah, she is still exclusively breastfed. And sort of at the end of next month, we start to introduce solids, which I'm nervous for, but I'm also really excited. And I'll definitely do another video all about that. So she's doing really, really well. And that's about it. But if there are any questions or anything I didn't cover, please let me know, as always, in the comments, on the blog post and whatnot, and I'd happily answer them. And then I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!